Hey everyone, I'm Theo from Planet Growth. We are a B2B consulting company, and we're basically helping B2B founders scale their startups to 1 million ARR. So let me explain you thoroughly why I think that this video is something you want to view. B2B founders always come to me and ask me, who should I hire first? What should be my first hire? How should I start off with my company? And this is a hard question, right? So you have to go in depth and understand and be like, I want to invest first in a product. I want to invest first in my marketing team. And the thing is that it's really difficult to evaluate what you need to begin with. But let's set this straight. So basically, why is it important? Basically, there are three reasons that I would identify. One being it's an indication for your company's success, right? So investors, people that would resonate with what you do, they all would like you to see that, okay, this company and this founder knows what he does, right? And then we need to set the culture straight. We're trying here to create a culture that is product oriented, or we're trying here to establish a culture that, would go with a sales attitude. Is that what the founder would go for? To be fair, 75% of founders fail to do it. And actually their businesses run out of cash really fast. So what should the first hire be? So it should have those three characteristics. And it's totally on you to decide. I will give you my advice on what I think the first hire should be, but it's totally on you to decide what this should be. But for me, you should have expertise to your target audience. So for me, they should have a really high expertise of your target audience. So forget all about having to hire the best salesperson out there, having to hire the best market out there. At the beginning, you don't have enough time to train them, to show them the audience. So the single most important thing is that they know your target audience. Even if it's at the product side or if it's that more of a sales side, right? So second tip, they should have a characteristic that you as a founder lack, even if it's that in the same role. So you are a great salesperson, but you don't know how to qualify leads, or you don't even know how to find those leads in a new way. I have come across founders that are not into the digital marketing side, and what they're hiring is someone who knows that specific characteristic. Or I've come across founders that, have this specific characteristic of really knowing that, I really need the product person because I'm really good at sales and marketing and I can carry on. And the third is that they basically have the skills that would directly tie to your ROI. And this is where my suggestion comes in. And this is why I wouldn't hire for a product person if I was a tech founder, for example. I would hire directly to someone who would prove ROI to my investors, because at this stage, this is exactly what you need to do. Even if you're a bootstrap company, this is what you need. You need someone who would bring the cash so that then everybody can get paid, so your product can enhance and everything. So in my suggestion, the first hire of a Series A or a bootstrap founder shall be a salesperson. I will explain to you in the rest of the video what are the traits of those persons and how you can actually interview for those traits, and how I've interviewed multiple of those people to get and onboard to teams that I'm working with. So the first thing is coachability. So how coachable someone is, and how do you interview about that? So you want to find out that this person easily gets the message through. So if you show them a case that has worked for you well and you have made the sale, it's important that you also know that this person can adapt quickly to it. And how you do that? First, you set up a role-playing exercise that models your buyer's context. Second of all, you evaluate the candidate's ability to basically adapt and self-diagnose the problem. So let's say do a role play and this didn't work. Why did this work out badly? So having that, you basically know that you can help the person absorb knowledge. And then you give them feedback and you're like, okay guys, so this didn't work, and from my side, this also didn't work. Can you adapt to those and redo the role play again? So this is heavily important where you're a founder and you're trying to basically adapt to this need, right? So the second trait is curiosity. So how curious are they? So you give them a problem and you try to analyze and see how curious have they become. In the role play that we were saying before, did they ask questions? Did they try to dig deeper into your industry, into your concerns? Or were they generic and just tried to speak for themselves? Then it's prayer success. And this is not hard to get. You ask them specific questions and you try to understand how they landed, not only in terms of, I'm the first in my company, but how did the company sell? Does the company that they previously were know how they sell? Or are they generic and they do not have a process? And even if he was top around people that didn't know what they did. So next off is intelligence. Not every sales team needs an intelligent person, but in those industries that rapidly adjust, it's super important that we actually have those intelligent people that would sift rapidly and identify the needs of new prospects and know what and how our product caters to them. And last one is work ethic. And this one is most probably the hardest one for someone to grasp. And to be honest and to be fair, I've made some mistakes to that myself and I've been the victim of it. But how do you actually define that? So I have 3 tips for here, but they're not solid and they can all have fallacies, but I'll explain why. So observations in the interview process. So are they noting things? Are they taking action and trying to work out ways to become better in the interview process? You made a question to them and they do not reply well. They understand it and then they try to ramp up. So first characteristics is observation. Second one, reference checks. So do those people have great reference checks? And this one is hard because sometimes people actually give even like bosses of theirs that we're also like friends with. So ask specifically for references for their sales performance. And do not ask for one reference, ask for at least 3 of them. And then behavioral questions. So I have a background in market research and I'll tell you that when you ask behavioral questions and when you put people in hypotheses, you can understand who they really are. And try to attach those people from the classic work environment circumstances. And this is what most HR people do wrongly. So you ask them about the work environment and how have you reacted in the past in the work environment. No, this is something that they can manage, that they can connect directly to their performance and to your job interview. Ask them about how they reacted incident outside of their job. So let's say you ask them about how did you last time work with a football team and you managed to win. Great example. They'll tell you about how they were cooperative and how the team together tied in to bring the win. Or ask them about how they try to react and engage with someone in a friendly way. Just the questions they asked. Or ask them about how they actually acted on another circumstance. Let's say on a social occurrence that they were the person that nobody knew in the room and what they did. So those would be more disattached from work and would be harder for them to lie. And that would give you the greatest advantage. So thanks for watching this video until the end. If you think that this video helps you and that you'd like to basically work out more ways to grow your company, then I'm happy that you subscribe and I will share my knowledge each week with you to get you ramped up and help your company grow, as I've done for multiple companies like Fliplet, Ricardo, Teamwork, and many other case studies that you can see, and I'm still doing and helping companies do. So in case you want to go through and see my website, it's in the description below. Cheers, thanks a lot, bye.